Brian Show. I know we had a short week. I can't believe it's Friday. We're going to have another 2 days off. If you look at what I'm looking at right now, this is Vertiv Holdings, okay? So we've been talking about, we're going to get into these guys and kind of the whole industry in general, but I've been hyping this data center build out. You know, it needs to happen. I have the windows open, so there's a nice breeze coming through. Not the poltergeist, but anyways, Microsoft just came out and said they're going to spend $80 billion building these kind of data centers out. You know, and I'm curious as well. Yeah, I have this issue with I would assume like energy throughput, but you know, can these office buildings that we have be used in any capacity? You know, I'm not sure what the rig out needs to be. I'm dubious to that concept, but I was kind of just Googling that, but I ran out of time. Take a look at that because it might be interesting, you know, if these like crumbling, you know, CRE like funds can actually turn around and be kind of interesting. But that's just a kind of quick thought I had. Vertiv is up 6.2%. They have these data center solutions essentially, real estate wise. So pretty good for them. Take a look at the composite. I mean, hey, the market's doing pretty well today. You're up 1.7% right now in the composite at 19,608. You have the Dow Jones Industrial up about 0.76% at 42,713. You get the SPY trading up 1.23% at 591.82. How about that? Nice, just green move to the upside today. Let's take a look. You have the DXY dollar coming down a little bit, still somewhat high at 108.93, but we were trading up at a high of 109.53, so going off that. Crude oil continuing to be very strong, you know, shutting down that throughput from Russia through the Ukraine is intense. You know, of course, you have natural gas spiking because we're supposed to be getting a very powerful polar vortex. I mean, it is beautiful right now. I think the vortex is supposed to come, what, in like 10 days or something like that, 8 days. I mean, looking at kind of the projections for the Midwest, it's like just kind of unbelievable, right? I mean, like Thimblewind or stuff. And it blows my mind, like being, on a side note, I was in Denver like maybe 3 years ago or something like that, and it was like 92 degrees out. Very nice because no humidity. I'm not used to that as a Floridian. But when I left the next day, it plummeted down to like 38, and I don't understand how infrastructure can handle that. But regardless, we're going to get a massive, massive cold front coming through the States. So you have natural gas pumping up on that. You have some kind of international disruption going on that's pushing crude oil futures up. Of course, you have the E-mini up 1.21%. You get the Russell up 1.32%. Gold off 0.6%. You have copper catching a bit up 1.22% at $4.07 on that contract. And then silver right back above that 29 level at $30.07. Celsius. What's going on, big guy? Up 6.18%, trading at 28.88. Let's see here. That's crazy. Celsius holding investors substantial loss have opportunity to lead securities class action lawsuit. I've looked more into that. There's been a lot of hype going around with Celsius, really driven from Celsius as well. They've been alluding to some kind of big thing that they're about to release, which, you know, I mean, I'm not sure if that's driving this or what it could be. Interesting to note, not that I really ever follow these things, but Morgan Stanley is maintaining a $42 price target for Celsius. Kind of interesting. Maybe this is like, this may warrant some, you know, closer look, right? You have a market cap of about 7.8 billion right now. Excuse me, jeez. The TGIF, as Tom always said, is 6.78 billion market cap for Celsius. A lot of buzz on it online. Of course, you get, as far as I'm concerned and see here, there's not really any major news for it, but up 6.07%, potentially, you know, I'll just take a look. I want to take a look too at their Form 4s to see if anyone in there is buying. Let's see, you got Disney up 0.35% at 111. You got Lucid up 6.6%. So nice movement to the upside for them. Meta up 0.84%, Steel Dynamics up 1.3%, and then Tesla rebounding above that $400 level because why not? Speaking with things like Tesla and Lucid, you had Rivian actually, yeah, you know, good for them, up 22.27% at 1625. They nailed deliveries. They beat estimates, right? Now, something important to keep in mind, that these estimates were in line with what they were talking about earlier this year, okay? It's not like they just did so extraordinarily well that they nailed it. Their deliveries were in line with what they were anticipating. They had scaled it back a little bit because of supply chain issues. It seems like that wasn't an issue for them after all. And so you're trading back up in that 1620 area at 2230. You know, I still think they're gonna have problems with. I think they're gonna have problems with being profitable. I think Trump coming in and not dumping as much money into EVs as the Biden administration did is going to be an issue for them. I don't believe that they get any of the EV tax credit that's going to that Trump will maintain. Of course, what they're doing is slicing the amount of cars that you know you can get the tax credit for. Rivian is on that chopping block. So you know I think there's some major headwinds for Rivian going forward. Again, I will always say, the thing that made me stop liking this stock was listening to one of their C-suite guys saying we're not a vehicle company, we're an OS company. And, you know, I mean, I guess that's fine, but you are a vehicle company and you need to make these cars and you need to make them profitable as well. And they've had a lot of issues with fluctuating, you know, basically losses per vehicle, right? So they get close to being somewhat profitable maybe, and then they lose it the next quarter, and then they do it again, and so just weird for me. Staying out of Rivian, at least on my end. Of course, do your own DD on it, but you know, I mean, this is a nice bump up. Like 22.47% is great, especially for a market cap of something that was like what, probably around like 13 billion earlier this morning. You're trading right now at 16.4 billion. So very interesting, to say the least. Let's see. I want to get the exact numbers for you. They delivered 14,200 EVs. Which is nice. Wall Street was expecting 13,400. Company produced 49,476 vehicles and delivered 51,579. That's on a full year basis for 24. Figures were in line with management's full year guidance of 47,000 to 49,000. And they were smack in the middle of production. So, anyways. I think the analysts just thought it was going to be way worse. Folks, stay there. We'll be right back.